So, hold right D-pad and double click X. Right D-pad, double click X.
We're just clicking it once.
Stand by. I'll take questions at the end of this section here about this specific section. At the end of every section, I'll say any questions. So, basic thing here. This is actually the front Vic over here. I know it's gonna be pretty hard to see, but essentially, where is the front Vic gonna point whenever it's the front of the Vic? In the front, okay?
The right side.
You're such a genius, my friend. Technicality, it really depends on the situation, but if you are on a gun, you pretty much you have a lot of security of the Humvee that is like you're facing a certain direction with the Humvee. You have like 180, you have 360 security kind of, but you're not focusing on the rear. You have 180 security on your own personal individual. Now, here's how I'm gonna explain it to you guys. And please mute yourself, stay high. You're talking right now. I'm not talking, but you're vibrating. On the rear Humvee is gonna face where?
Front.
Okay, you guys are obviously doing a good job here. It's gonna face the rear. Okay, and the front Humvee is gonna face the front, and your two Humvees, or however many Humvees are in between here, are gonna be focusing on those exterior sectors. You need to cover essentially 360 with your convoy, because you don't want anybody to come from your rear, ambushing you guys, or coming up out of nowhere. You don't want that to happen. Okay? And doing this essentially makes you a less of an easy target, right? Because the Humvees are not so close to one another. Look at the spacing, right? Look at the spacing of this. This is nice, okay? Now, obviously, it could be a little bit wider, sure, but this is kind of the standard here. You want to be this far when it comes to something like this. So, now, okay, I'll take questions. Crouch if you have a question, okay? And if you don't have a question, stay stood up, please. All right, Sane, what's going on?
So I'm on keyboard. How do I, you know how he's put his gun?
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm pretty sure the guy that was at TK and everyone at base yesterday just joined.
Tab Z. Tab Z. Or Tab Z. Yeah.
Prone for me.
Mom,
No, tab, you press tab and Z. Tab and Z. Not Z.
I'm looking over him, don't worry.
Mom.
Okay. So, yep, and then tab Z. Nope, you're pressing Z, and then tab, it's tab and Z.
Fuck. Okay, so tab?
Why is your tab prone? There you go. Alright.
My back.
Yep, that's how you get it on your back.
I want it to be like on my front like he is.
It's all dependable. You can't, you don't choose, it just does it. I don't understand it too. I've been playing this game for 800 hours, but moving on. Okay, does anybody else have any other questions? Simp, go crouch so I can see you, because there's a lot of people here. Okay. What's your question?
So my question is, say we have the convoy trucks back there in the middle with us, and we're protecting them. Would they just stay directly in the middle, or would they also pull off?
The convoy trucks in the middle are also going to go in a hearing boat.
Copy.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm putting this in sections so you guys can see. Obviously, at the very end, you're going to see how it will look like in its full glory. But that's pretty much the concept here with the hearing bone. Okay, so if you're stopping at any point, I'm talking about if you're stopping in a convoy and you know you're going to be there for a little bit, hearing bone. If you're pausing, hearing bone. Like it's a very simple concept. Just whenever you stop the convoy, hearing bone, and keep this kind of spacing because obviously now that I'm talking to you talking to you guys about this. Okay, if you screw up, if you don't do a hearing bone, okay, and I'm gonna just pop a random explosive in the middle of the convoy. If it kills one Humvee, okay. Something's wrong, okay? Because I'm gonna put it in the very middle, okay? Like I'm talking about like there's spacing between you guys, okay? Like there's no way it can kill any of you. All right? So just spacing matters, okay? So just be mindful. Spacing is key. If two Humvees go down, that's even worse. But that's what I'm supposed to be.
Fluid, you're not on radio, by the way. You're better just yapping in fucking game chat.
Oh, I was on wrong radio, wrong frequency. Okay, like I was saying, okay? Lock it up here. So, pretty much, again, if you pause, hearing bone. If you stop the convoy, hearing bone. See the spacing? Okay? Keep the spacing like this. And reminder, hearing bone. I'm sorry, Bailey went on Discord. I just got distracted. So, alright, now we're going to go to the next section here, okay? Nobody has any other questions? Actually, we have two other questions here. Alright.
if you're like in a medic car, in a convoy, do you want to be in the middle or like in the back or whatever?
I want to... Okay, hold on. So, what do you mean by the back? You mean like full on rear all the way in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. So, who's doing the rear security?
Oh yeah, Humvees.
Who's... Yes, so the Humvee, medical. If you actually look closely over there in the distance, the two sections from now, you can see where the medical Humvee would be. But we're gonna move on, guys. So now turn to your right, person in front of you, person behind you. We're gonna start moving on to the next section. Okay? We're gonna start moving now. Okay? Let's go, people.
Shut your mouth.
I'm gonna make like a break video of this. Don't do that.
Okay, people. So, this is more so you're gonna recognize in a second. It's like a staggered on a road. Like you're taking both of the lanes up. So I'm gonna go directly in the middle here, and I'm gonna turn to the right, and we're just gonna line up on the right here. You see its full glory. There you go. It's huge. I like it. I like the line. You guys are doing a good job. Alright, stop the line here, turn to your right. Obviously filled the gaps in that line. When you turn, it's probably going to extend a little bit more depending on it, so just be mindful that we got a big line here. Just try fitting in, guys. There you go.
Oh shit, I forgot a radio.
It's fine, if you're not handy, you really don't.
Want my cock up your ass?
Everyone to my left. Can you guys move down just a little bit? Starting in green, going from Dutch to Arthur.
Yeah, green just inch a little bit to the left so you can slide in because he's having a bit of a... Yeah, there you go. Close the gap here. Look a little bit. There you go. There you go. That should... There you go.
There we go.
Huge.
Alright, guys. So this is kind of staggered. So it's very, very basic. It's just what you're taking 2 lanes of the road. Okay? I probably would prefer this rather than just going down the road in a straight line. It really depends on the circumstances. I mean, if we're going on a straight line, it's because we know that there's going to be mines, okay, and we just want to go down the same path so we don't accidentally hit in an unexploded ordnance, so we don't want to do that. Alright, so we just want to be mindful of that, alright, and yeah, 2 lanes. It's very basic. You take up 2 of the lanes. Nothing crazy. So, anybody have any questions on this? This is pretty simple. I'm not going to put too much time on it, but same concept here, okay? I'm actually going to put the turret positions, because you guys can see all the turrets, I'm going to put the turret positions how it would be. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this next section, so stand by. Now, for context, the third and second vehicle, if the second vehicle is facing right, the third vehicle faces left. If the second vehicle is facing left, the third vehicle faces right. I'm going to show you guys so you get this. See here? Alright, so
almost like you're moving in a squad.
What do you see in this whole thing here? What do you see in this?
They're covering both sides. They're covering both sides.
And the middle.
Correct. So whenever you're moving down a convoy, you don't want you guys see this, right? Where everybody's pointing forwards with the guns and not actually aiming anywhere. This is how it's supposed to be done. So now that you get that knowledge, you have to face 360 security. You need 360 security, or else what's going to happen when a vehicle comes up from behind and the rear vehicle is just facing forwards? He now has to turn his whole turret around, and the vehicle. Everybody's going to have to drop on him, and the entire convoy is going to be cooked because they're going to be like, "What happened to our rear vehicle?" Now we have to, because no man left behind. You can't just freaking leave a bunch of people. All right. You have
I
to,
noticed that
you know.
during the out.
In a convoy, you don't leave people.
The back vehicle and pointed it to the back.
Yeah, you want, for example, if a Humvee goes down, okay, and let's say you're a Humvee that exploded, what's the worst thing that you want to see is that your entire friendly force is just driving away from you, leaving you behind. No man left behind, okay? Do not leave your people behind. If a Humvee explodes, herringbone, okay? Set up a team to go back and provide. The Humvees are providing security for the Humvee. The team is going to go back and help the other team out that just exploded off of the X and back to the Humvees, where that's where we have, you'll see in the future, medical Humvee. But pretty much, you want to get these guys loaded up and all that so you can help them. You want to help your people, don't leave them. If I see that again, I'm going to just spawn in as an enemy. I'm going to take you as a POW, and I'm going to do unthinkable things to you. So, don't be a POW.
Will you fuck me? No, that was sick.
No, it's not going to be sexual. It's just going to be pain. Let's see. All right,
I'm in.
All right, people. All right, so we're now going to go to the next section here. But does anybody have any questions here? Crouch, if you have any questions. Oh, we have a couple questions here. Corbin.
What about you can't stop and you have to keep moving?
If you can't stop, you have to find the most secure area. So let's say you're being shot at, you pass through the checkpoint and the Humvee goes down. Okay? In front, okay, you want to find somewhat of a safe area, like a little bit, like a give or take 200 meters away. The third Humvee becomes the rear Humvee, so rear security for safety purposes, and then obviously the middle Humvee has to do two kind of sectors. Or you could just cant it off at an angle, but you will have a soft dismount. I'll go over soft and hard dismounts in a second here. But yeah, you would have a team set up and go back, and you have the rear Humvee supporting them. But it all situational. Alright, next, okay? The rear of the line is now going to become the front of the line. Face your right, person in front of you, person behind you. Follow me to the next section.
Los, we're fucked. I'm the slowest nigga here. It's like,
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nothing much.
Shit, I didn't know what
Holy traffic jam, come on.
What the fuck is happening?
No!
Alright, stop here, face your left.
Yo, Gunner.
Yeah?
I want season 5.
Already?
So good. So good.
Okay, can we watch? I take this so seriously!
So Gunner!
Stopping mid-fucking...
It's not my fault, I keep bumping into people, bro.
Come on.
Hi, Gunner.
It's not hard. There's a line. It's a line. Don't whack people too. Put your gun on the back. There you go.
God damn it. I'm a good for compromise. I jacked out for the shit.
Okay, this is not the time to be confrontational with people. Be nice, okay, respectful, and don't argue. I swear to God, if somebody argues, I'll pull you aside. Alright. Don't ruin it for everybody is all I'm saying. Don't ruin your fun because there's an issue between you and another person. Alright.
Remember when you shot me?
I don't care about who shot what. I'm going to go over that later, okay? Again, be respectful. It's a game.
By the way, the new Dexter should be
Alright, people. So if you look closely, lock it up. I don't know why people were talking. I don't know. This is not conversation time. Alright? I'm teaching you guys something. Please have respect for that, okay? If you guys don't want me to teach this and you guys want to walk off, okay? Be my guest. I don't mind that. But again, you're going to ruin it for yourself. You're not going to gain enough knowledge. And as well, if you ever become a driver of a Humvee, I would never want you to be a driver of a Humvee if you don't know any of this, okay? So be mindful, okay? So what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4 volunteers, okay? If you crouch, I'm going to have you guys just position the turrets how they be, okay? So how I've already showed you earlier how the turrets would look like. I want 4 volunteers to show me how the turrets would look like, okay? So let's see, I'm going to go down the line. I'm just going to go for whoever I first see here. Alright, pepperoni 4 times and green. Get in a Humvee and show me how it would look like. Just choose a Humvee. There's 2 Humvees in the back and 2 Humvees in the front.
So this is the middle one?
Not the medical Humvee, I'm talking about the armed Humvees. You already have 2 people in the rear over here. Yep, to the front times. Very front Humvee.
Oh.
Come on, guys. There's only 2 Humvees.
I mean,
I swear I just had another person come over here.
Here, Flo, do you want me to come up?
No, you're good. Just stay in. Huge. Alright.
Ensure you're in your turrets. Be in your turrets, so I can look to see. All right. Get on your turrets. All right. So we got rear vehicle and rear security. We have third vehicle facing right, second vehicle facing left, and the front Vic. Don't do that. Absolutely do not do that. Face the front. Always face 12 o'clock of your Humvee at all times if you're the front Vic. Okay. If you're the front vehicle, never face anywhere else but the front. Obviously, if you take contact, you can tilt your turret, but you don't want. One thing I don't want to see, by the way, guys, is if we take contact, okay, and let's say we're driving, the front Vic turns to the second Vic and points the gun at the second Vic. Don't aim at something you shoot at. The same thing applies with the guns, okay? If you see how Fort has it, okay, if I'm not aiming at something, that's where the turret's looking. Exactly how it's looking. All right, the third Vic, that's how it would look. If I'm not aiming at anything, point blank period, I'm doing that exactly. He has it right. But you guys, yeah, there you go. There you go, guys. You got the concepts. All right, huge, guys. All right, now, you guys can get back in line. Okay, I'm not done yet with this, okay? So, you guys see where the medical vehicle's at? Where's that? In the middle, okay? You don't want your most valuable assets in security positions. Because if they die, what the hell are you gonna do? Okay, you're not gonna do a lot with that. Okay, you have your fuel. If your fuel goes down, like if you're transporting something valuable, you want to keep it secure. You want to have utmost security with it. And even then, with convoys, if I can, I'll have aerial support with it as well. Right? I won't have them hovering over the convoy. I'll probably have them as support. From someone from a distance, so if they have to swoop in, they swoop in. Because the issue is you know what's the biggest issue if a convoy has a helicopter flying over it, okay? If somebody shoots that helicopter, where's the helicopter going?
Yeah, right on top.
Straight into the convoy. So don't do what the movies do, all right? The movies have it all wrong, okay? So just be mindful in that. So, does anybody have any questions? Crouch if you have any questions. I'm going to go down the line here. Oh, hi, Bertron, what's going on? You had a question, or you're muted?
What is it? This has to do with, you know how there's like seating arrangements in the Humvees and such? Do you ever go over that?
Seating, so there is seating arrangements. The only thing I'm going to talk about is I don't want my team leads or squad leads as drivers because they're not, I don't want them to focus on driving. I want them to focus on getting the guys in the right direction. Obviously they prefer to be in the passenger position. If I'm a squad lead or team lead, usually I'm a team lead, right? I get in the passenger seat with my guys, and I guide them. I'm the shotgun. I guide them to where I need them to be, and all the above. And I could do all my responsibilities in the passenger seat. The issue with me being in the driver's seat, if I'm doing anything remotely team lead related, is that I'm focusing on driving.
Two Humvees, what's happened? What do we do?
I apologize. Can you say that again?
Well, in the case we lost two Humvees, what's happened?
That's how you know things have gone bad. If you lost two Humvees in this entire thing, that's how you know it's gone bad. But guess what? You still have two Humvees. So you would just replace positions. So you change positions. So you have if let's say you lost two front Vics, you reposition and put one of the Vics in the back into the front. So you still have security. Obviously, your security is cut completely in half. So obviously, you can have more. So like, let's say we have four Humvees and you lose two, you lose half. But let's say you have six Humvees, okay, and you lose two, you can still rearrange and help yourself out. But the one thing you don't want to do is leave security. Like if security drops completely, like if you see two Humvees up front destroy and completely die, that Humvee in the rear better go up and help those guys and provide security. Because let's say we're being attacked from the front, and both Humvees in the front go down, you're not going to sit in the back and watch it all happen. So you want to at least have the individual responsibility to make that chance of commitment so you guys can help your team out. So let's see. Phantom, any other questions? Oh, sorry, not you. Any other questions? What question do you have?
Let's go. What question do you have?
Okay, so like earlier when we were dealing with that civilian, those two civilian contacts actually, when the oil tanker was ramming into my car, I'm not gonna lie, I had to think if I wanted to shoot him or not for a minute.
No, this was not you. This is something different. So the oil tanker, there was another situation with the oil tanker. I think Pepperoni was in that thing. Not calling him out. It was I was just the only person I remember in that whole thing because I was focused on him. So, pretty much, if there's a civil, let's say you go through like you got encounters with 2 different IEDs. Okay. You have every right to be suspicious about a random oil tanker on the side of the road, but the first thing you want to do is go confirm that there is an explosive to begin with, right? You don't want to just start shooting up civilian assets just because you believe that there's something behind it, which obviously in the case where there was one, but you guys didn't do the proper ISEC protocol, right? And again, I'm ISEC, I-S-E-C, okay? Identify, secure, explode, confirm, okay? A very basic concept for dealing with some of this stuff. And that's if you ever want to become a sapper, which sappers are going to become very important, by the way. If you're doing convoys, guess who's going to destroy those IEDs or suspicious vehicles? Sappers, okay? And a sapper is going to, you sappers better know what a TM62 is, okay? You better know what an M112 block is. You better know your dinner plate mines, okay? Soviet TNT, okay? You better know your detonators, okay? Obviously, in the future, there's going to be AP mines, so you better be able to identify those. And obviously, whenever you're dealing with something with explosives, you have to know what bipping means. Blow in place. That's what bipping means. Okay, so you need to know what that is if you ever become sapper in the future. Okay, a sapper it's not hard, but you make it hard on yourself. The best thing, especially from what I've heard from sappers in real life, is that if something goes wrong, you don't even know about it because you're just blown up into pink mist. So I guess that's a reassuring factor, I guess, but. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Good to go.
Huge. So, Lion, what's going on here? What's your question?
What if they use ambush tactics? First and last vehicle got blown off and we can't use the boat anymore.
Say what again? You said the enemy uses ambush tactics?
Yeah, and explodes the first and the last vehicle, so we can't use the road.
You use your battle drills. So that's the thing. There's battle drills for that. So, for example, right, it's all dependable. Like, for example, if you're on an on-foot ambush, it's a little bit different from a vehicle ambush, but same concepts apply. You want to first fire on your target, okay? Get fire superiority of the target, okay? And obviously, if a Humvee's disabled, okay? Obviously, sometimes the best thing to do is break contact, throw smoke, break contact, okay? But obviously, if a Humvee's completely disabled, I'll just go scorch earth tactics if I have to, and just destroy the Humvee if I have to, or decommission it, right? So the enemy doesn't have any proper chance. Because if you know a Humvee's not going to work, you don't want it to get in enemy hands. So that's just how I would deal with it. Again, there's battle drills, right? And we're going to, obviously, if we're going down the U.S. route, I know there's a lot of U.S. military veterans out there that are able to go over these battle drills. I know of a good chunk of them. All right. So obviously battle drill 1, 2A, all right, 2, 2A, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot of them. So it takes a lot to learn. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Huge.
So we got the positioning on how to do the trucks.
What's up?
The trucks would be also in a hearing bone, by the way. I said this earlier. If you're in a hearing bone...
We already learned about the truck formation and stuff. What now?
Correct. All right, so... All right, Arthur. Wait, what's your... Oh, sorry, Phantom. I was going to say to you... Hold on, Arthur. Hold on. Phantom, what's your question?
Yeah, no, so, like what he was saying, talking about ambush tactics, if they're using civilian assets, what do we do with that?
So whenever a civilian vehicle drives, this is two things. You're able to fire warning shots. So if a civilian vehicle gets too close, you're able to fire warning shots, and if they don't back off, you have every right to destroy their vehicle. So you don't, because the thing is, if the civilian vehicle has an explosive, you don't want it to go boom boom. So the best thing you got to do is shoot the vehicle. So if I'm a civilian vehicle, I'm pulling up. You got to destroy it. If I'm not stopping, you got to destroy it. But if you put warning shots and I stop, that means okay, calm down. All right. If a civilian, this is one thing as well. If another vehicle that you don't know is a part of your convoy is trying to assimilate with your convoy, use warning shots, and if they don't comply, right, you could shoot them. Okay. I don't want any I've seen it before where people assimilate into convoys. right? And they're not supposed to be in convoys. They get absolutely shredded because they're not supposed to be there, and they didn't sometimes they get rammed off the road, which that's just being nice, but that's risky because let's say there's an explosive, you're just gonna kill yourself. But just be mindful. There's warning shots for a reason. Use your warning shots if a civilian does not comply. Obviously, you want hearts and minds. Just a quick thing. Yesterday, you guys are shooting civilians. No more. Okay? Don't smoke civilians. Not unless you know they are a threat. Definitively. Okay? Now, one thing as well, okay, is initially, right, you search them, but don't let them leave your sight. Because if you're in a battlefield, they can pick up a gun. And they can just come back and be like, oh, you guys searched me. Boom, boom, bang, bang. That's what happened yesterday. Some of you guys figured out the hard way. So, all right. But hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, it does.
Huge. Arthur, what's up?
In case of airstrike, what do? We break information
Okay.
or just ignore?
If a convoy gets airstrike,
What a good question, bro.
There's not a lot.
You get the hell out of there. That's the best thing I can say.
It's not nothing's a dumb question. I've just never been asked that before. Because if an airstrike drops on your convoy, there's not a lot you can do about it. Only air assets could deal with that, and even then, like if you have security over that, and there's not a lot you can do with that. And we don't have like anti-air systems, so obviously that kind of just. If an airstrike hits your convoy, there's a good chance not a lot of you are linked. So it's not. I appreciate.
Can I speak a little bit?
You can jump on it a little bit, yeah.
Okay, basically, if an airstrike hit the convoy, that position is marked by the enemy. You have to get the hell out of the way.
Out of the X.
Because if the airstrike comes one time, it's gonna come a second time. So you gotta get the hell out of the way.
I approve that message.
What about a lightning strike?
Okay, yeah, no more questions. No serious questions, guys. Come on. All right, Dutch, what's your question? Dutch. What's his question? He's crouching.
This man probably don't know anything. He might be AFK. Dash, are you good, buddy?
Alright, moving on. Alright, Hot Pepper, what's good? What's your question?
I just have a question.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I apologize. Hold on, Pepper. Lock it up over there. I hear conversation at the end of the line. Lock it up. Alright, and get back in line. I see you guys. I don't know what you guys are doing over there, okay? Just hold and just be patient. I'm quickly going through everyone's questions. Some of you I asked questions to. Let's have the respect of the other people to get their questions answered because there's a lot of people who are confused. Alright, as you were.
Alright, so what if there's a RPG in the bush in front of the convoy, and you're in the second gunner, so the second Humvee, and the front gunner doesn't see him? Are you allowed to shoot the RPG guy?
I mean, if you call it out, yeah, you call it out, and obviously you could shoot him. Like, if you see something, you shoot it. Like, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is be mindful of where you are shooting. Because, like I said earlier, if you're front Vic and there's something happening on the rear of the convoy, that's none of your business. Because you can't, if you turn your turret a full 180 on the other side, you're pointing at friendlies. So just be mindful of where you're shooting. That's all I care about. And focus on your sector, because if the front Vic doesn't see it, you'll probably see it. You can smoke it out.
Alright, man.
Yeah. Alright, stand up here, Pepper. Or not Pepper. Pepper, what's good?
Yeah, so I have a question. Let's say you're in the middle and you have a cargo truck or some important supplies. If you get attacked, are you meant to retreat to a safe area or?
Okay, you can't. You got to get out of the X. If you're being attacked, the biggest thing about convoys is never to stop. If you stop while you're taking contact, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get absolutely decked. Have you ever heard of the Tango ambush? There's not a lot that they could have done in that moment. Yes, but the thing is, they were stuck in one position. They couldn't move. Okay, and that's a prime example of why you can't stay in one position when you're getting ambushed.
I thought they didn't even have armored vehicles.
Yeah, they didn't even have armored vehicles too, which was even worse. And we don't have armored vehicles. These things can't even take a lot. These Humvees are pre-armor packs, so these are really old Humvees that don't have a lot of armor. You're gonna die. But yeah, those guys, like if you get ambushed, like if you get surrounded in an ambush, and you're in a convoy, things have gone really bad. Like, and that's exactly what happens. So you don't want to be stuck in an ambush. Waltz right through it. Don't stay in one position.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
I got a question.
What's up, Kanjali? Kanjali, where are you at? I don't know where you at.
All the way on the other side.
I'll go to you in a second here. I gotta ask these guys. I gotta get questions from these guys, and then I'll go down to you. I'll go back to the front. All right.
You can hear me, right?
I can hear you, Afghani. Yeah.
All right. Good. Appreciate it.
All right. Got it. All right. Oh, huge. Ronnie, what's good?
Unrelated to the stuff we're talking about, but will the server ever be like real players versus players? Like not AI?
Okay, so for context for you guys, I said this earlier, so I'm trying to find a middle ground for the guys who want to do PvP, okay? What I plan on doing for the PvP is having PvP weekly, so every Saturday, or one day on the weekend, there's an organized PvP event where there's one goal, and we could have some cool stuff with it. Like, for example, you have 30 guys who are considered special forces versus, let's say, an overwhelming force of 50, if we gain slots, right? Or we could do a half and half. I just want the issue is, if we do something consistently PvP, your only goal is to capture objectives, and obviously it turns into a domination of Call of Duty at some point. And obviously, if you play PvP in this game, you know that it's, in some cases it can be fun, and a lot of other cases it can be really painful because no one wants to listen. So I don't know why, but whenever PvP gets put on the table, it becomes how can I say? It just is not necessarily fun. The reason why, as well, it limits you. If we do PvP, it limits us completely. We can't have dynamic operations as much as we want to some extent, because you have to appeal both sides, right? Which is a lot. Appealing one side is very easy. Appealing two, you need a few more game masters for that. That's a lot of work. So, I'm not saying impossible, but that's why I want to have it as a weekly thing, as a very organized weekly thing, to where, look, there's a PvP event. Cool. Let's have fun. Obviously, those are going to be coming pretty soon. I just want to I'm going to have a staff meeting soon about that. So, there's a lot of things to be discussed. There's a staff meeting in like 20 minutes, so I have to do it. Anyways.
I have a question.
Okay, we have a lot of questions here, guys. Lock it up. I hear some jihad music going on in the background. Like, hey, listen, turn that off. All right. I'm sorry. I apologize. Romanian. All right. So, what's good, Green? You have any questions? Okay. Okay, how about this? If I can't round back on people for the same, like, I'm saying the same questions, but other questions, if you have any other questions after this, I can take 5 minutes and ask you. You guys can.
Questions.
If need be. All right, Paizo, what's good?
So you see how there's a lot of people we picked, the Russian side, the Warsaw. Is there going to be like because you talked about not having the, because it's the vehicles and the gear you get is a lot different for the USA. So if they're doing the training only on USA, it's going to be a bit hard for them actually playing on Russia.
So how can I say this? That's exactly why it's just out-of-game logistics go harder. Here's how I'm going to explain it to you guys, and this is as transparent as I could be, because I'm going to give you guys full-on honesty. I think if I lie to you or to misinform you, it's a very big discredit to you guys. So here's the biggest problem with something like the Warsaw thing, and I know a lot of people voted on it, but I think I hope you guys could somewhat agree with me on this, and this is with all due respect to you guys prior to playing the game. I'm not going to consider your vote if you've never played the game before. It's like how can I say? It's like deciding on whether, let me think.
You know what's better for your kid or not?
Yeah, you don't know what's better for yourself. I'm not even going to go to examples. It's not better. You don't know what's going on in the game, so you don't know what you're voting on. You're just voting on pure Daisy logic. Because the thing is, you guys had no choice, right? This is what I tell my staff. You guys had no choice for PvP Milsim. You guys are just drilled with PvP Milsim because that's the only thing that was viably available to you in Daisy, and you just grow and get used to it. This is a completely different ballgame. This is not the same thing. And as much as some people were like, again, that's my middle ground for people. If you want PvP, there could be weekly PvP events because they'll be organized. But everyday PvP, it's a struggle. It gets boring because it's a lot of work to set those up. By the way,
and you have to do you do always the same thing. Like you always go and cap the same fucking bases. It gets boring.
And with the PvP events, what we'll do is we'll have votes before them. Like if you want to be op 4, if you want to be the undermining minority or whatever. Now we'll have those cool, or we have half and half. We'll have votes beforehand, and if you vote on it, cool. Alright? we'll know what you want. All right. But the thing is, there's a lot more that goes into it. It's not as easy as just putting you two guys in different areas and having you guys battle it out. That's boring. We want detail. We want you guys see how whenever we do these, or whenever I do these, I did this yesterday. If you were here yesterday, you saw how we were progressing further and further more south.
Yes, I like that.
So I felt like we were actually making progress, doing something, not playing a game.
Yeah, I love the feeling of actually doing something.
Okay, I gotta take 3 more questions, and then I'll do 5 minutes of outside questions, and then I gotta set up for this meeting here, okay? So, let's see, 3 more questions. Who is 3 people?
I'll ask you later.
Okay, ask me later, yeah, these people need to ask questions. What's good, Kanjali?
Alright, this is again about the convoys and shit. What are we supposed to do if the head of the snake gets taken out? Like, first Humvee, first vehicle?
If the front vehicle gets taken out, the second vehicle needs to assimilate that role and provide security on the front. Okay, so let's say this front Vic goes boom boom, second Vic pulls up to the front, deals with that issue because he obviously now you see where the conflict's coming from. Hopefully, okay. It's all about luck and tactics. It's you. Well, that's one thing as well. It's all dependable on the situation. I think a question like that all depends on circumstances because you're never always going to have the third vehicle pull up. You're never always going to have the fourth vehicle pull up. You're never always going to have the second vehicle pull up. It's all situational. Like hypothetically, let's say the third and fourth vehicle are taking contact. You can't have a move because they have to deal with the contact back there, right? You have a front Vic. Let's say it just depends. It gets complicated, but the thing is you have to follow principles. I think one thing that you guys understand, hopefully, is that there's principles. If you follow those principles, that's what's going to get you out. There's no specific procedure for some of these things because some things just are dynamic. They're gray zones, so you can't really cover everything in war. You have to go through what you know, and that's kind of how it is. Yeah, that's another one too. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Honestly, that's it.
Okay, so my question is pretty simple. It's about the convoys. I don't know if you went over the topic of like they have a roadblock in the front and in the back they took out the last Humvee, so they pretty much just box us in.
Same. If there's a roadblock, you waltz through it. I mean, the roadblocks in this game, I could pop a roadblock on how they look, so you see how they look real quick. But you can waltz through these, and the thing is, with something like this, if you can see a roadblock, unless it's a turn, right, which I'll give you the benefit of that. If it's a 90-degree turn and you're turning into a checkpoint, that's a little different, and there's dense woods around you, there's not a lot you can do, besides get the hell out of the X. I'll probably make a fat U-turn and turn back around, if I can, because the biggest issue is, because the thing is, the blockade behind you is not as defended as the checkpoint, so... I know, I'm speaking on the radio on purpose. So, you need to be mindful that, like, again, it's dynamic. One of those situations where you're kind of fenced in, you gotta just get the hell out of there, any means possible. So it's... I know. I've seen it. Yeah, that's because you guys can't... Okay, so whenever you're looking at tactical planning, let's say you need to get somewhere, and at some point, vehicles are not the best solution. Sometimes people dismount their vehicles and put them hidden somewhere so the enemy just can't find it. That's what I recommend. What was I gonna do? There was one more topic I was gonna go over. Yeah, hard and soft dismounts. I can't take them. Just everyone stand up. I'm sorry. I'll answer. Like I'll take 2 to 5 minutes questions afterwards. It's only gonna take about 2 more minutes. It's just a quick question of hard and soft dismounts.
I have a question, real quick.
I can't answer that question right now. I apologize. Right now like I said, I have a meeting in like a little bit, so I have to speed up the process here.
You just need to say yes or no.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I check this truck out, please?
They're there for a reason, but you could look around, look at how they're positioned, get a closer look at how these things are set up, especially the hearing bone. You guys know some of you guys have freaking act like you guys know it all, but then you guys mess it up. So look at what you see, all right, and don't drive the vehicles away.
Butchie, do you have to go in that? Do you have to go in that meeting, Butchie? Gotcha.
You guys are gonna have ops. Don't worry. We're gonna have an op during our staff meeting, so there's no break period between you. So there's clarification on that. I apologize. You guys are gonna get an op.
Alright.
You can do both as long as you listen.
Hey guys, question. We're gonna have an operation now.
How about this? I'll do this. I'll get an op set up and do a briefing beforehand, and I'll just do GMing and at the same time do my staff meeting, guys, so you guys can have fun. We'll probably do a convoy op, so the way you see it is the way it is. You're probably gonna have to do some logistical. Are we gonna have highways overhead? Yeah. We'll see here. So how about this? You guys can load up in the already set up convoy. You guys, obviously there's a few Humvees around. Okay, so you guys can get in those Humvees and get that convoy fully organized and set up how you want to. I'm gonna remind you guys, okay, what's gonna happen here, okay? Let's see here. A space night, put a rally. What is these things on the map? I guess it's a convoy.
Hey, we need some magazines for the gunner.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, listen closely, guys, because this is going to be kind of cutthroat, but I need you guys to listen, because if you don't listen, you're cooked. Okay? You guys need to deliver, let's see, fuel. That's what it is. It's not logistical that way. I'm going to change locations here. Okay, I got it. Okay, you guys, okay, listen closely, okay? St. Pierre has a fuel problem, a humanitarian problem. What we need to do is provide fuel to the docks at where the lighthouse would be, okay? Obviously, there's going to be enemy contacts along the roads. There's going to be a lot of ambushes, and I need to be mindful, okay? So, as you go down the road, be mindful. On the map, okay, you can see the road all the way down leading to the MSR, okay? You guys need to reach your end goal. Once you reach your end goal, you guys can evac via heli. Or drive back. We'll probably have you use drive back because we don't want to lose those resources there, but... Deliver fuel over to the pier at St. Pierre. Our exit strategy is most likely, depending on the circumstances, because not everything's going to be perfect. If the convoy gets absolutely wrecked and there's some vehicles disabled, you guys are going to get evac via heli. Yeah. You guys need to set up this convoy. At least get your convoy in position in some kind of way.
Yeah. I need.
Are we gonna load up by the hangar?
Where do they spawn the heli?
No, there's already a convoy here for you guys.
I need tsunami.
So,
I need Matada.
Alright guys, I'm gonna go to Game Master. I'm not gonna be reachable. Okay, if you need anything, I can be contacted through DM. I'll DM you and I'll respond back. Right now, I'm gonna get stuff set up on Game Master, so be mindful, okay? Thank you. Alright, clear comms and make sure you guys get yourself set up. It's green light whenever you guys are ready. Whenever you guys are ready, it's green light. But make sure everyone's ready.
Alright, listen up, everybody else in the convoy. Only gunners, please. Don't make this fucking hard.
Everybody regroup. The convoy, we're by the trucks. Let's get this set up.
Phantom, you're leading the convoy, right?
Yeah, I can. Hey, pilots,
I got you 2 birds covering you, so should be fine.
Yeah, pilots, I see helicopters over there. If you want to go get some helis ready, you can do that.
We got Alice.
Sorry.
Simp, I'm, Viper 1, you're Viper 2, alright?
Alright, everybody get out of your cars, come over here. I want to see who I'm going to appoint squad leads and who we got. Except for pilots, you guys can go ahead and go do your thing.
Ben Cheek already has a squad. Can I be a gunner since I'm already here?
Alright, bet. Everybody just come line up on this yellow line real quick and fast. I want to start so we can go kill some people. Pull over. Alright, but Cheek has his squad.
I'm missing one, I can't find him.
I'm ready for this shit.
I need tsunami.
For squad leads, I'm gonna have as squad lead 3. I'm gonna take Stay High as squad lead 2. I'll lead squad as 1. Team Acceptor will be 4. Probably need one more. Crusader, you will also be 5. All squad leads 7.
Sorry, Phantom, to break you off. Only gunners in alleys, everybody else in the fucking convoy. And let's get this quick, and no pain.
Adam, come in.
Yeah, Crowd, come over, Crowd. I need the crowd on one of them gunners, bro.
I'm working my way over.
Hey, Spear, get in this Humvee over.
Hey, pick me up on the runway, feel free. I have to run a little bit.
Alright.